Finally a Utah trip. Been a long time coming. Gonna check out Cathedral Valley as well as Reds Canyon area. Start out tonight on Cedar Point Overlook and should have a pretty nice view. Hopefully the haze from the fires isn't too bad, but we'll see when we get there. Excited to hit some dirt. Been about 9 hours driving. It's a little windy. I'm looking forward to getting to camp and having myself a cold one. So we'll pick up on the drone and everything tomorrow, but for now just stuck with the old dash cam. But anyways, enjoy. I think that'll do. Made it to camp. This is Cedar Point or Poison Point, depending on what map you're looking at. Looking down into the Dirty Devil River, which eventually dumps into the Colorado River. There's Poison Spring Canyon, dirt trail that leads into Canyonlands, and also Canyonlands itself off in the distance. A little hazy because of the fires, but still beautiful. Stoked to be out here. would have to be an amazing view. Well, that was kind of a bummer with all the smoke and haze from the fires, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful area, rad overlook. Would love to go back when it's nice and clear. But anyways, gonna head up north towards Hanksville and then jump into Cathedral Valley, check out Factory Butte, as well as the Moonscape overlook on the way. So that'll be our next stop. Pass, and off to the left there is the Caneville Reef. To the left of that would be where Factory Butte is. Not too bad of a spot for lunch. Mucho bitchin'. So coming up on the Fremont River crossing. Shouldn't be too bad this time of year, from what I've researched, but this is how we're going to get into Cathedral Valley. this is called the Bentonite Hills. I believe bentonite's used for, they add it to oil or something along those lines, but I guess it's slippery as all get out when it's wet, so hopefully that thunderstorm behind me doesn't catch up. But what a difference from yesterday evening and night, this morning, to today. Man, you can really enjoy some of these views, which is fantastic. Well, the thunderstorm finally caught up, which makes things a little bit interesting. Being solo and pretty darn remote right now. Basically in the middle of nowhere, it'd be a lot for anybody to come in, and I haven't seen anybody since that water crossing, which is a ways back. So, anyways, gotta play it smart and figure it out as we go. Well, that's sure looking ugly. Kind of keeps heading this way. Trying to be mindful of not being in a wash and being able to jump to high ground if need be. I don't want to be stuck on high ground because I heard thunder and I don't want to be up there where the lightning can get me. Named after people going through the area, saying that it reminded them of Gothic cathedrals. hence the name Cathedral Valley. Might be a good night to sleep in the wash or bottom of a canyon or something. That's where I need to go over there. It's pretty rad. It's getting pretty wild. Yeah. Everything leads into a wash, and I ain't going into no wash. Especially with that madness. Everything kind of funnels down into this area, so the wind's roaring. There's thunder going. Dust devils. Dirt's blowing sideways. Wild West out here. Yeehaw. well, fuck. This is the road I wanted to take. Drove down to about there. You can see where my tires are and figured I'd scope it out. And yeah, it's just things turning into soup. There's my footprints. I'm trying to get close. You can kind of see it's just nasty. You know, brown that water is. It's crazy. Whoa, almost ate shit. What a disaster. So yeah, that's actually my way out. And I can take you another way, but kind of throws a wrench into the rest of my trip. But what's crazy is, I mean, we didn't get that much water down here in this valley. I mean, it rained a little bit, but imagine all this is coming down from the gorge and all the canyons and all that stuff back there. Anywho, just need to find somewhere to set up camp a little earlier than I was expecting, and hopefully this will dry out tomorrow. Anyways, you. 69-mile-an-hour winds. God damn it. Coming from all directions. Be really interested to see if the roads dry out. I'm really curious about that wash crossing. That thing was flowing just pure mud, which concerns me. There's one other option to get to the 70 from here, but it looks like it crosses through some washes as well. So stay here tonight. Got some nice solid ground, which is good in case anything funky happens, and then be able to check it out in the morning. See if we can move on to the next spot, or if we have to get creative, backtrack. Anyways, we'll see. Oh, sweet relief. Wind's starting to die down a little bit. Blue sky. Feels like a nice upgrade compared to the last, 4 hours of absolute dog shit weather. Really hoping that the wash that I need to go down through there is dry. Will dry up by the morning. Otherwise, gotta figure something out. Might have to go all the way back that way towards Hanksville, but we shall see. Hopefully we're good. I don't know this Utah dirt too well, unfortunately, so I don't know what it takes to dry or for those washes to clear out, but I guess to get it tomorrow. But in the meantime, this weather is nice. Alright, made it through the night. Had a good night's sleep. Slept in a little bit, which was nice. Weather was perfect. Got some blue skies today. Look at that. That's amazing. Anyways, we're gonna go back to that wash crossing, see what's going on there. Scope out another way to get around it. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna have to backtrack all the way down through Cathedral Valley. But anyways, let's get this party started. Ugh. Yeah. No. No siree, Bob. This is Last Chance Road. This is the other way to get to the 70. There are a couple wash crossings that I hope aren't bad. We'll see when we get there. Hopefully this is our way out. Dang, there it is. I think we're going windows up, and we're gonna get across this fucking thing. Well, I'm going away from that, but hopefully it doesn't move this way. It'd be nice to have a nice sunny day. We're heading that way, which we're looking pretty good. restock on some supplies and grab some fuel as it burned a little bit more than I was comfortable with. We're gonna head back towards Cathedral Valley. Basically be on the other side of that muddy wash that we didn't go across. And there's a couple overlooks this way that I'd like to check out. See if we can get to them. What's up, buddy? So on my solo trips, I always like to be cautious, be careful. I gotta make sure that I don't get stuck or hurt the forerunner. So even though it doesn't look like much, or if you're in a group, you know, something like this won't be an issue. But you gotta question these small little things to make sure it'll be all right. So not sure if I'm gonna do it or not. We'll see. Decided to go for it. Fuck it. Easy peasy, other than the mud. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's the sound of regret. We'll strike out on going to that overlook. There's a culvert with some pretty good washouts, but nonetheless, if this looks familiar, we're on the other side of that wash I couldn't get across. Footprints are right down there. On the Muddy Creek Wilderness Trail. Not a bad spot for lunch. Dying. So that ridge that we just came up was that was all along the Muddy Creek Wilderness. Pretty rad road, killer views. This ain't too shabby either. that is this spot. Not too shabby. So that's an old uranium mine. All the old mining cabins and everything are down there. I believe it's the Globe Mine, something along those lines. But that's Red's Canyon. That's where we'll be tomorrow, and probably be down at those cabins looking back up here. But in the meantime, taking the view.
There goes the weather.
believe this is Reds Canyon Overlook. I'm pretty sure that was lightning in the distance. Could be wrong. That's where we'll be going tomorrow. Burp, 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 burp. That'll be fun. Man, I wish that wasn't there. Pretty sweet. Ugh, disgusting. Don't do this kind of shit. Looks like trash. Well, this would have made a great campsite. Great view. That's where I was earlier. That's Red's Point up there, the last spot I was at, but I saw some lightning bolts. You can tell the wind, there's sprinkles. Gonna get hammered by another thunderstorm, darn it. But I think I'm gonna try to get off of this ridge line and maybe find a little bit of shelter somewhere. So off we go. Alright, well, this is back where I started. Went to that first overlook. I was hoping there would be something on that trail, but there was nada. So, we will continue on. It's alright, this trail was a blast anyways. toe. So I think the reason for lack of campsites is all this soil looks like it's I think it's cryptobiotic, something like that. It's basically living soil, and like if you step on it or drive on it, it kills it, and then it takes years and years and years for it to regrow. So it's a part of the ecosystem here. So yeah, very interesting. So this is kind of what I was talking about, that cryptobiotic, I think I'm saying that right, soil. Anyways, I guess that stuff's supposed to be alive, but it's everywhere. Guess this is the Copper Globe Mine. Got it. Little shack up there, a bunch of wood. Rad. Uh-oh. Sure is pretty through here. Wish there was a spot to camp. 7:15. Definitely tired. Definitely ready to just relax for a little bit. But it's getting me closer to I think like boondocking sites and whatnot, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But hopefully nobody's around. I haven't seen anybody all day, so maybe I'll be lucky. Finally found myself camp. Definitely bummed about not staying along the rim back there, but it still looks nasty. But nestled up in this little spot, get to enjoy that beer I was talking about. Nice wind protection, can't complain. This will be just fine.